Trail Tiers land route. That's the passage of the Indian Removal Act of 1830. American Indians had to leave their ancestral homes in the southeast for new homes in the Indian Territory, present-day Oklahoma. (720 miles from Fort Cass, Charleston, Tennessee). Woodhall's Depot, Westville, Oklahoma, 60 miles. This will be a good bicycling loop. Low speed limit. Beautiful scenery. City of Soldiers. This was in March. It's cold. Right beside Highway 62, so you have all this traffic noise. Okay, Leetown was a little village close to the battle site. where they took all the wounded. Crisis in command. This is where General McCulloch was killed, along with his second in command, James McIntosh. I see they do a little bit of mowing. Now this is where the Confederates overwhelmed the Federal artillery unit. "7,000 Confederate troops, 600 Union troops. Wow. Cherokees fought it for the Confederates. Some of them. Several mile loop. Be a good cycle. Today's a good day. No traffic. Still cool. This lady's got the right idea. But I'm in a hurry. Lots of oak trees. This part of Arkansas was pretty sparsely populated in 1861, and this was a main route. It's called a telegraph road. Between St. Louis and Fort Smith, Arkansas. 11 miles to Bentonville. Well, of course, Bentonville is famous now as the home of Wally World. 10 miles to Rogers. Ages ago, this plateau was a this was a plateau. Long erosion left the hill and ridge capped with resistant sandstone. They became landmarks in the battlefield. 29 miles to Fayetteville. "16,000 strong Confederate Army of the West. Spent most of the first week of March 1862 trudging on muddy roads through northwest Arkansas. They traveled some 60 miles from their winter camp deep in the Boston Mountains, beyond the low ridges you see in the distance, to get to Pea Ridge. After the Confederates lost this battle, the Union Army didn't really control much of the territory, so there were a lot of vigilante militia, bushwhackers they called them. They were basically just thieves, armed thieves, and they raided farms, stole everything they could. Check out this bench here. It's one long slab. Big old black walnut tree. I was camped out underneath one there at Lake Leatherwood. Hard fighting near Leetown. Families who lived outside Leetown first heard the shots. Leetown would be right here. Right over here. That's called a Little Mountain. Slaughter in the Rocks. If you here stand 30-foot tall columns, below you here stand 30-foot columns of stone. All right, these are the Confederates, and this is a Union Army. You see the cannons out there where they are. There's the Visitor Center. It was extremely rare in the Civil War to be able to see an entire army lined up for a fight with all their regiments within sight of each other. Had you stood here on Saturday, March the 8th, 1862, you could have seen 10,000 Union men in battle lines stretching out for a mile over open fields below. It was a sight that few veterans of the Pea Ridge ever forgot. Night moves. I have ordered General Signal and Davis to move their divisions during the night. From this overlook, you can see the great challenge facing General Simon Curtis as two armies grappled on Pea Ridge. How to turn 10,500 men in the Union Army from facing south to facing north, while keeping supply wagons captured. They did it at night. They moved them at night. Fiery finale at Ruddick's Field. First day of fighting ended at sunset. As the late winter sunlight faded, Union troops pulled back from Elkhorn Tavern and prepared for a last-ditch defense along the tree line that bordered Benjamin Reddick's cornfield below. And thus they prevailed. That was a cool view from up there on the ridge. And we're dropping back down to the field. The panorama was one of the few places where you could actually see both sides lined up for the battle. Pea Ridge and the Trail of Tears. Here, members of William Reddick's family witnessed more than 11,000 Cherokee people passing by between 1837 and 1839 on their forced removal to Oklahoma. About 350 Cherokees in the detachment led by B.B. Cannon camped here on December 23, 1837. The first removal contingent to travel through the area. Ruddick's Farm was a regular supply depot on the northern route of the Trail of Tears. From here, the detachment would branch out on several different trails, all leading to Indian Territory. All right, I guess this would be the northern route here. Notice the elk antler on the roof. Reddick's Tavern, is that what it's called?
Were treated here.
So it was mostly Union, you said?
It was used as a Union field hospital on the first day, but that didn't mean that only Union soldiers could be treated here.
Oh boy, can you imagine this? Look at that saw. Oh. It's pretty rough in those days, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
That's why they had to bite the bullet and have an anesthesia.
Well, they did have anesthesia. They had chloroform and several other types of medicines given out. That bite the bullet thing, where people have seen teeth marks on bullets and stuff like that, that's where that came from. That's actually not human teeth marks. They're hog teeth from eating the limbs.
Didn't know that. Are the razorback teeth marks?
Razorback, I'm sorry?
Yeah, are they razorback teeth marks?
No, they're just regular hog.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
We're in razorback country, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is for tightening up the tightening up the rope.
Use it right here. Yep.
And
this is a historic bed. It's over 200 years old.
So, what do they call that? What was the phrase?
Sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite.
Upstairs. So this was a stagecoach route tavern accommodating overnight guests.
It was a family home. First and foremost.
Oh, okay.
The only people that would necessarily stay the night are people who would pay, a little bit of money. They'd sleep, on the floor or something like that. It wasn't like
a regular tavern where people stayed. Elkhorn Tavern. That's why they have the elkhorns on the roof. And I guess this is Army This is how they transported the Army munitions. Not munitions, rations.
What was their name? The Cox family. I suppose there's a book. Yeah, we actually have several books with that. One specific to just the Elkhorn Tavern. Gives some information on the history of the home and this is surgical home that could shatter, they could probably save it, but infection was
The Elkhorn Tavern, lifeline for two armies. Elkhorn Tavern overlooked a highway of vital importance for Arkansas and Missouri during the Civil War. Union and Confederate leaders both wanted this 20-foot wide dirt road to move men and supplies along the road. Ran a 3-year-old telegraph wires that alongside ran the 3-year-old telegraph wires, the latest way to send information to the east. In the week before the battle broke out, both armies had hurriedly marched southward past the crossroads and tavern. The night before the shooting started, the Union troops from Missouri set up a small rearguard outpost here. The soldiers had stockpiled food in the barn and tavern. Provost guards watched a handful of captive Confederates nearby. All right, here's what I'm saying. This road this is from St. Louis down through the Ozarks. There's Pea Ridge in the northwest Arkansas down to Fort Smith. I like these little Park Service electric utility carts. They're enclosed cabs, so you don't have to worry about it raining or being cold. Probably even have a heater in them.